What is the most inoffensive thing you've seen someone get offended by? My 7-month-old was wearing a shirt that had a rocket ship and the Al NASA logo, and some middle-aged woman in the shop said Ari should not be wearing that because Hella's clearly not an astronaut. I was dumbfounded. A surprising amount of people get very offended when you tell them they cannot sit and stare at your vagina while you give birth. We were choosing a mascot for a summer camp where I worked. It was the first day of camp, and when I'd always let the campers vote on a mascot that way would use for the rest of the summer as sort of a bonding thing. This year, the kids voted for wolves as the mascot. It was almost unanimous. But one kid, probably about 9 or 10, threw a fit because wolves are but goiso and predators and killers, and he does not want to be a wolf. He wants to be a hero. He refused to participate in any team activities because he did not want to be on a team with the but guys. At one point, we brought in a guy in a full mascot wolf costume for some anti-bullying program, and the kid had a massive tantrum. I almost felt like we were going to learn at some point that his brother was killed by wolves or some other tragic origin story. I did feel bad for the boy because I was fairly certain he had some kind of unaddressed emotional difficulties or something, but we were not going to change the mascot name that almost everyone voted for. The really sad thing is that wolf populations have suffered a lot due to stereotypes that but using a walking stick. I was in a car accident a few years ago, and it fucked my leg up. Since then I've been using a walking stick. I was walking to shop, pre-pandemic, and an old bloke gave me the dirtiest look I've ever seen. "What do you need a cane for? You're only a kid." He actually got quite pissy just seeing me using a stick. Like, my dude, I'm just out trying to buy some milk. I don't need your shit today. I didn't say that out loud, I just said it to myself after I got home. Maybe 22 years ago, I had a phone interview with a baking company. I did not care to have my peers know what I was up to, so I took the call on my cell phone in my car. The call was crystal clear, and no technical issues. At one point, they had mentioned the weather, and asked how it was where I was. I told him that I was sitting in my car and I could see that it was actively snowing and whatnot. The interviewer asked me, "Ari, are you taking this call on a cell phone?" I told him I was. Then he asked me if I thought that was appropriate. I asked him what he meant by that. He said he thought it was kind of rude to take a formal call on a cell phone. I told him I would be more than happy to conclude the interview if talking on a cell phone was an issue. If he was interested, I'd be happy to continue it the next day when I'd be at a desk. He again repeated how rude he thought it was that I had called from a cell phone and that there was no need to continue the interview process. I disagreed with the first point, but did agree with the second. To this day, I wonder what the hell he was talking about and where he was coming from. One time someone got offended when I put on my seatbelt, thought I was commenting on her ability to drive. We used an app at work called Bonfire. One person refused to use it because bonfires are for witchcraft and pagans. I spent 9 hours deep cleaning the house for an inspection. I went above and beyond, clearing my work schedule and going the extra mile, and my roommate a double occurred on my work. He had a complete psychotic meltdown because I forgot to sweep underneath the couch. I moved out the next day and never spoke to him again. I was at the vet with my cat and he sneezed. This was apparently very offensive to an elder woman. She was there with a corgi, and she started screaming at me for about 30 minutes about pet hygiene. At school someone did not have a calculator and asked if anyone had one they could borrow. Someone offered them a pink calculator and they refused, saying that they were offended I'd try and give them something girly. Someone posted a video about 9/11 and someone commented, "Please take this down. You're not from New York. You will never understand this pain." She said this as if only people from New York were in the World Trade Center. I once listened to my boss try to lecture the fire marshal because he was talking about something being flame retardant. Her reasoning was you should just call it fireproof because retardant was an awful word. It was one of those times where I really should have tried to stop her, but instead I just stood off to the side, probably making a surprised Pikachu face. I got in trouble in kindergarten for saying the word dead. Apparently it was too violent. I had a coworker who got mad at me because I asked her not to tickle me. That's inappropriate at work. B. We are not children. We are not in a relationship. We are not family. C. I don't like being tickled. She flipped out and said everyone likes being tickled, and I was being mean to her. Happily my boss had my back. Edit. This happened over a decade ago. I don't work with that woman or for that company. In fact, even the company doesn't exist anymore. I'm also a woman. The coworker was very young and immature. This was her first job, her first time in a professional environment, and she really had no clue about professional workplace behavior. I wasn't upset because she truly thought she was being friendly. But I still don't like being tickled. When I was a child, my mum paid for something with a check. The cashier remarked that my mum had nice handwriting. My mum flew off the handle, and we had to storm out of the shop in outrage. To this day, I have no idea what happened. I'm a disabled person. My life sucks because of my disability, and no longer being able to do the things I used to love makes me quite depressed sometimes. Some asshole tried to lecture me about how I was ableist for wishing there was a cure for my disability. Fuck me for not enjoying being in constant pain and possibly ending up in a wheelchair in the future, I guess. I worked at a restaurant, and we put up some Halloween decorations. We had to take them all down when someone found the glittery skull decoration offensive. My mom got mad because, and I quote, she never asks me for money, referring to me. I'm sorry, would you rather I constantly bug you for cash so I can buy candy and shit? Back when I was in grade school, a teacher of mine was discussing something. I don't exactly remember the context, and he said God or a god, in order to be neutral to those with various religious beliefs, and probably to cover his ass, since he was commenting about religion while in school, and a girl in my class got so upset / offended about it, she started bawling about how he is being disrespectful to her beliefs. The pics are short lava. He walked out saying it was deeply offensive and didn't explain why. Typing in someone's phone number to activate their awards card. Finished typing it in, found her name, proceeded with the transaction and said, "You're good to go." The woman replied with, "WH at is th at su pages are said to me," and she gave me a fiery glare, as if I just kicked her toddler across the store. It means, "I found your information. You'll get your points." The woman, "Oh, okay then." I still can't figure out why she flipped out like that. It was a rewards card, she got her points, and she got her discount. What? I called someone a farmer and she blew up at me, saying that I clearly meant the N-word. Had someone get offended by me calling my brother bro. They insisted that I was racist and that white people can't be related to Mexicans. Like seriously, lady, that's not how genetics work. We are 100% related and are a mix of white and Native American. It's not that unheard of for one biological sibling to come out lighter or darker than the other. And even if we weren't related, seriously? I'm racist for calling someone close to me my bro despite being different skin tones? Seriously? Thank you for coming to my rant session. Have a good day. Someone once got offended because I used the word black in conversation. I was talking about an article of clothing / the color black. They tried to make into something about race and that I shouldn't use the term black anymore and should say African American. I said that makes no sense, I'm literally talking about the color black. Am I supposed to say I'm wearing an African American colored shirt? Maybe I'm crazy, but I think that's actually offensive, lol. The Canadian flag. told me that if they put up a Canadian flag in PA, the neighbors would come and shoot everybody. Not quite sure about the logic on that one. This guy at a Halloween party I was at was dressed in a giant bacon costume. Some girl was *YELLING* at him for being so offensive toward Jews and Muslims. She was neither Jewish nor Muslim. One of the Muslim guys at the party asked her what the fuck she was talking about, but she didn't back down lol. I have no idea why people feel they need to go out of their way to be, inaccurately, offended on behalf of other cultures/religions. My Mexican friend, born in a small town in Mexico, wore a sombrero and poncho for Halloween. A white girl told him fata is offensive to Mexicans. The guy who got offended in a council meeting because someone used the term black hole. Edit. Found a video. A fucking picture of an eye. We have an organization-wide theme every year and all the PCs on our network have the same background and theme which can't be changed. So this year's theme is Vision is 2020 and the background was a zoomed in picture of an eye in really awesome colors. 2 women on staff wrote letters to complain that the picture was heathen as it drew from Illuminati imagery and paid tribute to the all-seeing eye of Egyptian deities. They whined and complained to such an extent that the picture was eventually changed to shut them up and let the normal folks get back to our actual work. I told my sister in a PM that it is at a 1 star not at a 1 star after she posted something on Facebook with the spelling error. She flipped out saying, how I am a rebel lawyer and I need to appreciate that a spelling is more unio. Edit. Showers 27.